Oh yeah. Oh, it's gone in my wine. Oh, I'm getting in a mess. This is what I love about Mexican food. A huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. It is Taco Tuesday. Actually, it's Friday, but you get the gist. I'm in the mood for some delicious Mexican tacos, and I've got some corn tortillas. It's got to be corn tortillas if you're going to have really authentic tacos. I've actually got a video, if you're interested. I show the whole process of how to make nixtamalized corn and fresh tacos. But what we're looking for is this gorgeous, soft and very smooth masa. But I've got a packet of tacos here. They're white corn tacos, and they're going to give me that original, authentic flavor of Mexico. Also, I have had a lot of chicken lately, so I'm going to make this with pork. I've got a pork loin. Ideally, you want a pork like shoulder or leg, something that's cooked nice and slow, like a pulled pork. But we're going to get away with making it with pork loin. It's a meal for one after all. It's got to be as simple as possible. I don't normally use this either because inside here, all you've got is smoked paprika, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, some chilies, of course, and maybe a little garlic powder. And you can put those ingredients together and make it yourself, but I'm keeping it simple. I've got myself some simple taco seasoning, which is just going to give this the delicious, authentic Mexican taste. Now, in my mind, nothing beats good tacos, particularly when they're greasy and they've cooked them with all the sort of oily meats that they use in Mexico. But it's great to serve this with a little side dish. Now, I've got some corn. It's a little dry looking, got it from the supermarket, but I think it'll be perfectly fine. I want to make some elote, or actually, I really want to make some esquite. I think it's called esquites, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. So the little tubs of corn that are served with sour cream and cheese, like a cojita cheese. I'm going to be using some local produce to sort of mimic those flavors. Just need something to balance out all the flour and meat from the tortillas. Now, this is really easy to prepare. You can take your whole corn like this. I'm saying this one's a little dry, but I've checked it, it's okay. Just pop that in the microwave as it is, 1 to 2 minutes, and that will actually cook the corn all the way through. We're going to be taking it off of the cob itself, and I'll show you how we prepare that in a moment. But let's get on and prepare the meat for our tacos. So let's get and prep a little onion. It's got a little twin going on. It's a long time since I've had a piece of onion like that. What I need to do is just cut the onion down towards the crown. We score the onion. Now, I did think I might just do slices of onion, but I think actually a little bit of diced onion is probably better. I'm just going to pop those aside into the bowl. I'm also going to take a red chili, and seeds and all, I'm just going to slice this up nice and thin, but I'm just going to add that chili in with the onions. Next, we got this lovely piece of pork loin. Now, for me, I could eat the whole thing, but I'm probably just going to use half of this loin. I want to actually, a little bit like the onion, what I'm going to do is just cut this. My knife's a little blunt, but cut this down into strips. And then each strip I'm just going to score down the center. Don't be tempted to trim off the fat. There's little enough fat on a fillet of pork as it is. And then what we're just going to do is slice down. I'd rather have nice textured pork like this than I would have ground pork. It just, a little more texture, I think it just makes for a more interesting taco. Yeah, I think my knife needs a bit of an edge putting back on it before anyone complains that it's not cutting smoothly enough. And then we've got that taco seasoning there. Hopefully that shows up on camera. You can see, to be honest, that this is predominantly just paprika and the common seasoning. But I want quite a bit on there. I don't want it to be lacking in flavor, although that would probably be for a family. I'm actually going to use half the packet. Let me just toss the pork through. Oh, that smells good. Now let's just set that aside for a moment. Take a little slurp. The corn is a little dry, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to pop that straight in the microwave for 2 minutes. That will cook it through. It'll be completely cooked. Oh, the corn is hot. Now, you know these hairs, these strands that come out? The easiest way to get those off of your corn is to take this end. Let me just hold it here. So we're just going to cut it. I want to hold it fairly tight, so I'm just going to put a cloth over it. Just cut it about half an inch from the end. What you can then do is pull the corn out like that, and all of the hairs, all of these strands, they stay in that end. So your corn then is nice and clear. So what I'm going to do now is just take the corn and I'm going to cut it. Oops, still pretty hot. I'm going to cut it down. You can kind of feel the edge of the cob in the center. So we end up with the center cob like that, which I can just discard. In with this corn, I want to add probably about a dessert spoon. It's just for one, remember, maybe a dessert spoon and a little bit of sour cream. I've got a crumbly feta. There's a beautiful cheese in Mexico. I think it's called cojita, but it's a similar cheese. You can actually crumble it a little bit like, well, it's not all feta crumbles, but you can actually crumble it just like this. So I just want to get some nice crumbled feta. Crumble some of this in with our corn. A little too much sour cream, but hey ho. Maybe not, maybe not. Really just wants to be coating the corn, not the corn coating the sour cream. All that needs now is a sprinkling of our taco seasoning, not too much. I made a little green tomato salsa. This is a tomato salsa with jalapenos, made with fresh green tomatoes. It goes so well. So let's put my corn into this little serving bowl. Yeah, too much, Stephen, you overdid just a little bit. I could make it again, but to be honest, I just tried it and it is so delicious. But I've overdone the sour cream just a little bit. So let's set that aside. And let's get and prep the meats for our taco. So my pork's now marinated a little bit in that and absorbed some of those flavors. I'm going to take it over to the stove and we're going to cook this. So in a pan here with a fairly solid base to it, I want to add maybe a tablespoon and a half of oil. Don't go too short on the oil. We're going to be using it for warming our tacos up. And now we can take our pork, whatever meat you decided to choose, and pop it in there with the oil. By cutting the smaller pieces of pork, it means this is going to cook a little bit quicker. And because this is loin of pork, we also don't want to overcook it because it becomes tough. If this was a leg meat or shoulder meat, then you could cook it over a slower, longer heat. If I were to break a piece of this in half, it's only been in, take a larger piece, it's only been in a very short time. But if I break it in half, you can see it's already cooked all the way through. And it's important that we don't, I know people are always a bit cautious with pork, don't want to undercook it. Now the temptation would be to cook and cook and cook. Don't do it. And obviously don't undercook the pork. But I'm going to take that pork now and just pop it over here in this little bowl. Now we'll probably need a little splash more of oil, because into that oil I'm just going to add my chilies and onions. Now you see the way this taco mix is sticking to the bottom of the pan, and that's why I tend not to buy taco mixes, because I know why that's doing that. It's because they put a lot of corn flour or flour of some sort in there, and rather than coating the food, it's actually cooking like a sort of like a pancake on the bottom of the pan. Well, that's going to take a bit of cleaning, isn't it? This pan still has another job to do for me at the moment. So now that is perfect. You see they've just started to saute up. I'm going to put my onions in with my pork. I didn't cook them together because they cook at a different rate. What I want to do is just add a tiny bit more oil into this pan. This flame is actually now on. I'm going to take my tortilla. I'm just going to dip it in that oil. Probably just one side actually. I'll probably just keep it on one side. And then I'm going to pop it over this gas, and I'm hoping that I can recreate some of the smokiness. When they're doing tortillas in Mexico, they'll often throw them on the grill. So I'm hoping I can get some of the sort of sootiness and extra flavors into this tortilla. Oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for. You see those little black spots? That is so typical of good street Mexican tacos. You know, they have to have a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of heat. Turn that one back over. That's it, just on the edge there. Beautiful. That is so perfect. Now I'm just going to pop that one on there. We'll go with another one. Back into the oil. I'm going to do both sides. Oh, these floured tortillas break so easily. Ooh, he's on fire. He's cooking. That's good. Take another one, just roll it around in the oil. Pop it back on the gas here. So we've got our tacos, and what I want to do is I want to put into the tacos, I'm not sure if I've got enough meat here, so I want to put some meat and some of this tomato salsa. So we get another one. So I've got my onion and my meats, a little of my, well, quite a lot of my green hot. This is a lovely hot chutney, by the way, so let's just fold that in there. Pop that one next to that one. Hope I don't mess this up. I really only got one shot at making this for you guys. When you eat these on the street, they use corn tortillas, but they're super thin. And consequently, they quite often give you 2 corn tortillas. But these are quite thick, these ones you buy in the shops. They're quite thick. Let's pop that glass there just to keep everything together. How good does that look? I'm running out of wine. Now the last thing I want to do is just take a little fresh coriander. So I'm going to take some slightly warm sour cream, just pour it over my tacos, and a little coriander. Now I need a photograph of that, I think. Looks ever so pretty. Write down below what you think I might be thinking right now. One thing I'm definitely thinking is less photographs, get and eat these things, because I'm absolutely starving. I could be back in Oaxaca, Mexico City. Oh, it's already starting to run down the back of my hands. I'm salivating. I absolutely can't wait. Chin chin, let's tuck in. That was the last of my wine. I was trying to make it last. Oh, I could have squeezed some lime. I had limes. Shall I? Let's finish this first. That is so Mexico. But really one thing you'll notice when you're in Mexico is the simplicity of the tacos. It's like pizza in Italy. It doesn't have all that strange stuff on. It's really simple, not too many ingredients. Let's get another one of these. So a little lime, or limon, as my Mexican friends mistakenly call it. Oh yeah. Oh, it's gone in my wine. Oh, I'm getting in a mess. This is what I love about Mexican food. You can get in a mess and laugh. The lime makes it. But you know what else will absolutely lift this meal? Some sweet corn, a little chili, a little cheese, and sour cream. Seventh heaven. I'm sorry guys, I'm going to have to leave you. I really wish I had a Modelo with me as well. Still, I couldn't be happier to have the juice of a taco smoked over a fire dripping down my hand. Love to you all, share the love, share this video with your friends and family. We'll see what we're up to next time, I'm not sure. Give me some ideas down below. Cheers, see you next time. I don't want to get it on my shirt. I was tucking into the sweet corn before I could even plate it up. And It's all I can do, but to stop myself just picking up a chicken wing and gnawing into it. You want one?